When I listened to the album once it was done, it was like, did I write that? Heritage.
There are no death rolls on there. Well, you were saying in a recent interview you said that you've been having some problems with your screaming lately. Is that the reason why there are no grunts on this album?
No, not particularly, because the problems or whatever I had with my screams was something I was a bit unaware of until I heard some of the like the Albert Hall. I sounded a bit strange, and when I was doing those shows of Bloodbath, I felt like I had a sore throat after singing, and I was like, what the fuck? I never really got a sore throat. But I realized now that part of that problem was was a purely technical thing, because I was using the in-ear monitors, and which is great for clean vocals. But I found out not so good for my death vocals, because I'm compensating. When I hear myself too clearly, I'm compensating and singing in a different and worse technique, or screaming in a worse technique than I used to. The whole sound of my death metal vocals is based on not really hearing what the fuck you're doing. You're in the rehearsal room and just, developing that type of style.
So now you won't be using those?
I started using just earplugs again.
Okay.
And I feel better. I'm not sure if it sounds better, but I like to think it does, and I don't get a sore throat anyways.
That's good. But no death growls because the songs don't need them, that's why?
Exactly, yeah. I'm not saying I'm not going to do death vocals anymore. But to be honest, I don't feel they're me as much as they were maybe 10 years ago, something like that. It's something that stuck to the Opeth sound because it's supposed to be there. And I enjoy doing them for the records, and to do it live I can enjoy it, but it's not, I can take it further, if you know what I mean. I've taken it as far as I can. I can't develop that style anymore. And I don't want it, like, once I, with the problems or whatever I had, I certainly don't want it to get worse. I don't want to record an album and it's not sounding right,
But did you have your vocal cords examined because of your problems, maybe?
No.
Okay.
No, it was never that type of problem that I felt it was a massive thing, for me, because it still sounds like me. It just sounds a bit more strained on some recordings, But I think to a certain extent I was exaggerating the width of that problem. It's not as bad as some fans might think or whatever, It's not like I lost it. I think it was more. It's a combination of as I said, the technical aspect of singing with in-ears, which I never really done until the only time I'd done that was on those last couple of tours. Which we happened to record. But I also don't feel it in my heart as much as I did.
Tracklisting, there are 2 instrumental songs on the album, Heritage and Marrow of the Earth. Can you... when did you decide to open with Heritage?
It's obvious opener, I think. And also I like, not so much because it bears the title of the album, but it set the tone for the rest of the music, and also it's a bit of a statement, a musical statement in that sense that it's based on Swedish folk music. That song, it's based on an album done by Johansson, which is he's dead now, but he was a Swedish, the best jazz pianist that we had in Sweden, and he's the father of Jens Johansson, who plays keyboard in Stradivarius, and Anders Johansson, who plays drums in Hammerfall. They made this album in '63 or something like that, called Jazz in Sweden, Swedish, Jazz på svenska it's called, just upright bass and piano, based on Swedish folk music. So it was a bit of a tribute to that, and it's our musical heritage, so to speak.
But is this a one-to-one cover, or is it just your own interpretation?
It's not a cover, I wrote it.
No, yeah, sorry, I don't know the music of it. So.
No, if you know that album, it's pretty obvious. It's, you know, I'm trying to make a song like sound like that.
So, when did you? Can you explain how? Where were you when you wrote this opener? When did you? What influence? Because it's really a oh, it sets the mood, like you was like you said. Yeah.
I was in my little home studio. It's interesting you say that because I've been thinking about that. I can't remember writing these songs. Maybe it's because it was in the same setting, all of them. I was in that little room. But I can remember coming up with some of this stuff. Like when I listened to the album once it was done, I was like, did I write that? It's kind of nice in a way, and I'm talking to the other guys about that because we listen to the album like we're not on it. You know, we listen to the album because like as it's a piece of music that we're not necessarily part of.
Because it's so new to you, maybe.
Don't know why. I don't hear myself on there. I don't listen for myself.
But
Axel drum is like, I can't believe is it really? Is it me playing?
Is it the first time that you've had this experience as a band? I mean, if you compare it to the previous albums?
Not really. You know, I think it's probably been there for all the albums in a way, you know. But we never really talked about it before. You know, we never brought it up. But I never listened to our albums like thinking that's me doing that stuff.
Me
you
and
know?
the guitars.
I always like that's one of the major things with this band is that we try to write and record music that we want to hear. Our own favorite album. It might sound big-headed and stuff like that, but it's a healthy thing for a band to have that idea.